Yup, talking about Dragon Ball Z Daima, Dragon Ball Daima episode 20. It just happened. Uh right off the bat, I do this series was good. This series was good. I'm not the series was pretty good. It was pretty drawn out for 20 episodes. I didn't know how many episodes it was going to be, but it was pretty drawn out for 20 episodes. But I do have a lot of criticisms of the show, which doesn't it's weird because this is placed before Super, and they don't explain why Goku has never used Super Saiyan 4. Never. Like, I don't know if he can. Like, they didn't say he couldn't use it. They didn't say it was because of the Namekian giving him the power to use it. Goku literally just straight up says that he has the ability to use it. That's all he says. And he's never used it. Same thing with like Vegeta SSJ3. That was my biggest problem with Dragon Ball Daima in the first place, was going back in time, because you just leave a shit ton of plot holes. And it's weird. Like, I know a lot of people were excited, or are excited for Super Saiyan 4. But the thing is, with Super Saiyan 4, since Super already exists, you got to wonder like why they've never shown it. Obviously, I mean, that's why, like, it's just so many plot holes. They obviously didn't show Super Saiyan 4 in Super because they didn't know it was going to exist until now. But that just leaves like 100 billion plot holes in Dragon Ball Super. That's like, are we never going to see Super Saiyan 4 again because it's 100% weaker than every form in Super Saiyan in Super? We already know gods exist in Super, so like, there's no reason to go Super Saiyan 4. Doesn't mean they're not going to, but it's the same reason why Goku doesn't go Super Saiyan 1 in Super, because there's literally no reason to. But I will say, Super Saiyan 4 looks amazing. I do like the design of Super Saiyan 4 a lot. I will say, I'm trying to get a good picture of it. Super Saiyan 4 does have a good design. I don't like the this design is better. I like him better in kid form. Other than that, I don't like the big ass forearms he has on his arm. Not necessarily a terrible looking, but it just looks weird. I do like the Super Saiyan 4 better in GT. I also like the black hair in GT better too. Another thing I like about Super Saiyan 4 more in GT is the whole serious aspect Vegeta gets when he turns Super Saiyan 4. I mean, this dude literally just turns into uh, a menace in Super Saiyan 4. He's just the way he moves is so cool. But I do like the design in GT better. And yes, now that Dragon Ball Daima is done officially, I will say Dragon Ball GT is still better than Dragon Ball Daima. Dragon Ball Daima is good. I think Dragon Ball Daima overall is like a solid. I give it a 7 out of 10. Like the ending of like it reminds me of Dragon Ball Super. I didn't like much of Dragon Ball Super until the Tournament of Power. I didn't really like the Black Arc either. I think the Black Art was all right. Um, but all the way up until Tournament of Power, basically when Hit got introduced, that's when I think Dragon Ball Z Super got very good. Same criticism with this. It's like all the way up until like they got the last Dragon Ball. That's when Dragon Ball Diamond actually started getting good. But I didn't really like the beginning, the slow pacing. I think my favorite part of Dragon Ball Daima is probably the new characters they introduced. I don't remember their names because I watch it in I watch it in sub, so I usually just go by faces, but I don't remember their names. They was only here for like 20 episodes. But the new girl they introduced, the short little girl, she's good. The new Boo characters are amazing. I like the double Boo characters. They're probably my favorite introduction. I thought they were just gonna like create evil Boos, but no, I like the new Boo characters. Uh, like this the anime of the Boo characters, like they're pretty enjoyable. It's not like cringe humor or like forced humor. They're pretty just chill. They also strong. Uh, I do like that. I do like that. The main villain, I don't hate the main villain, but I don't like him either. I feel like the main villain was pretty uh what'd you call it? He's pretty unserious. I never felt like threatening with him. I don't know if that was the goal. Obviously, I don't think it was. But like character villains like Boo, Jiren, um, Omega Shenron, and Baby from GT, them characters like they feel very threatening, very scary. This character felt very goofy. He felt like his mini form. He felt like the same thing as in his big form, which makes sense story wise. It wouldn't make sense for him to be a whole different person when he gets bigger. But like yeah, that's another criticism I have is I didn't really like the villain. But yeah, I mean Dragon Ball Daima is good. I enjoyed. I would say I enjoyed every episode. I never watched the episode and I didn't enjoy it. Uh, it's just weird. It's just weird. Like that's why I don't like time travel because once you time travel, you it's just so hard. And Dragon Ball Z is another example. Dragon Ball Z Diamond is another example. Like when you time travel, you just leave the viewer wondering like, where was this? Why didn't this happen? You've introduced this. You've introduced that. Like why isn't it? And maybe like Dragon Ball Z Super. It's weird because people are going to be like, well, obviously Dragon Ball Daima didn't exist during the writing of Super. It wasn't thought of to do Dragon Ball Daima. But like that's not how writing goes. You have to Dragon Ball Daima was not created with in mind that Super existed. And that's my biggest criticism. And people are going to be like and like I said like people are going to ignore it, but like this is canon. It's weird to have this and have Super and just not have 90% of the things they introduced not happen. I mean, the boos here would be, I don't know how strong they are actually compared to characters in Super, but they never get introduced again. But like the fusion things here, the bugs they eat, I mean, they could have took some of those. I don't know, like it's just weird. It's just weird. It's probably my biggest criticism. But GT is not canon, so it doesn't have to worry about that. But I will say, yeah, Super Saiyan 4, I don't know why it's never been there we I keep going back to that, like Super Saiyan 4 not being introduced in Super, but it's obviously Super Saiyan 4 didn't exist during the creation of Super and Dragon Ball Daima. But it's just weird, like maybe just Super Saiyan 4 just isn't worth it. That's what I'm like worried about. Like in my eyes, I've always wanted Super Saiyan 4 to be introduced after Ultra Instinct because now that Super Saiyan 4 is introduced, does that mean like they won't use it in current Super because it's weaker? It's significantly weaker. This form is weaker than Dragon what's it called? Super Saiyan God Blue. It's weaker than Super Saiyan God Red, the base form. So maybe like I don't think this is the last time we're going to see Super Saiyan 4. I think they will bring Super Saiyan 4 back. I think they'll introduce Fusion Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta. I think they'll introduce Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Instinct. I don't feel like I don't know, but I hope that they do Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan 4 Fusion because this form is significantly weaker than Ultra Instinct, and the only way to bring it back would be to make it stronger than Ultra Instinct, which I think they'll do. I think they will do Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Instinct, Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Ego, because that's the whole thing about Dragon Ball. They're always getting stronger. That's the whole point of it saying. But I am glad to see it canon. I don't think they. I think the whole point of making this canon, Super Saiyan 4, was the fact that they're going to use it. I don't think it would. I think it would be useless to put Super Saiyan 4 in a 20 episode series and then never use it. Same thing with Broly. Like Broly's now canon. He only existed in a movie, but like they didn't make Broly canon just to use him in that one movie. Broly, in my opinion, will probably become uh a very consistent character in the series. He might be like a what's it called, like a Shanks type of character. Is how I see Broly, Shanks, Escanor, Kenpachi. A character that's like he's not on screen, but when he is on screen, that's when that's when you want him to be that background character that just never gets ruined by writing or never gets ruined by another character. You always want him to be cool. So I do think Super Saiyan 4. I do think we will super. I think we will see Super Saiyan 4 in the future again, just because they went out of their way to make it canon. Um, and I think like it would be amazing. It would be amazing. I mean, Super Saiyan 4. I've said this like in older videos. Super Saiyan 4 has always been my favorite character in Dragon Ball Z. I have I have proof. When Sparking Zero dropped, my first video on Sparking Zero is me saying that Super Saiyan 4 is my favorite character in Dragon Ball Z. Although he's not canon, but I've always loved Super Saiyan 4. It's why I see like GT. Like a lot of people hate GT, or I don't think no one hates GT, but a lot of people don't like GT. I love GT. I love GT. I don't think GT. I think GT is better than Super. I think GT is better than Dragon Ball Daima. I don't think GT is better than Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. I didn't watch Dragon Ball, not the OG Dragon Ball. I didn't watch that. But I don't think GT is better than Dragon Ball Z. So I do. It goes like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Daima. That's how I rank them. But Super Saiyan 4 is amazing. It's weird that Vegeta, and it's another question. Like, go back to it. Like Super Saiyan 4 now exists. Why hasn't Vegeta? It's like, does Vegeta and Super just skip over it and go straight to God form? It's just a weird thing going back in time. But I guess if you're looking at it like, just enjoy it, don't think too hard, which is not how I watch TV shows. I couldn't watch Dragon Ball without all the plot holes. But yeah, that's basically it. Dragon Ball Diamond is good though. I do give it a solid 7 out of 10. Overall, I think the last few episodes, I give the last few episodes a high. I give them a high. I'm trying to really think. I give the last few episodes of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Daima. I give him a 9. I give him a 9 out of 10. I give him a 9 out of 10. I want to say lower, mainly because of how Vegeta got backseated so hard. I wish Vegeta would have stayed more, but that's just how Dragon Ball Z is. Same thing with Turn Power happened. Vegeta got backseated for Ultra Instinct. Vegeta got backseated for Super Saiyan 3. And now Vegeta is getting backseated for Super Saiyan 4. I think it's just something as a Dragon Ball Z fan you got to accept. I didn't like that at all. I really wish they went Super Saiyan 4 together. Or they went Fusion, Super Saiyan 4, something. But Vegeta got backseated so hard in the last 2 episodes, it kind of hurt it. Because I do like Vegeta a lot, but that's just something Dragon Ball Z fans are used to. But yeah, the animation is a 10 out of 10 for this for Dragon Ball Daima. I think I've said that from the beginning. I think Dragon Ball Daima has 10 out of 10 animation. It reminds it's up there with like, it's funny because One Piece also has 10 out of 10 animation, but it has better art style, which is completely different. One Piece has more detail in every scene they do in their fighting, versus like Dragon Ball Daima looks prettier. It's like in video games, like Elden Ring looks better than a game like Cyberpunk, but Cyberpunk has better graphics. At least that's just my opinion. But Elden Ring has better art style, and that's what Dragon Ball Daima does to me. does to me like feels like to me in like normal episodes it just has like very good animation. In the fight scenes it has very good animation, but compared to something like One Piece, it doesn't have the super detailed art style. One Piece always very detailed. One Piece, in my opinion, has the best animation in anime right now. It's had it for a long time. Since like Whole Cake when Luffy versus Katakuri. I stand on it that One Piece has had the best animation. But yeah, Dragon Ball Daima is done. I really wonder what Dragon Ball Daima is going to be. That's another thing. Like, will Dragon Ball Daima be GT to us in 10 years? Because, Dragon Ball Z is a very big media. Everyone likes Dragon Ball Z. I wonder where Daima is going to land on the scale of good, bad, mid. I don't. Nobody's ever called a Dragon Ball Z project mid. I mean, bad. But there is people who think Super Saiyan Dragon Ball GT is mid. There are people who think Super is mid. Everybody agrees that Dragon Ball Z is goated, but I wonder how will this age poorly. Uh, I think it will. I think thinking about it, I think Dragon Ball Daima might age a little poorly, mainly because it's not like you in Dragon Ball Z. You remember, or at least me and a lot of people, I remember everything, like the Frieza arc, the Saiyan arc, Cell, androids. I don't know if you count androids and cells as different, but Android Cell, the Buu Saga. I remember everything about Dragon Ball Z. I remember everything about Super. I don't remember everything about GT. And I don't like GT, I don't remember everything about. I literally Super is brand new. That's why I think I remember everything. But GT, I really only remember the key parts. Baby, Omega Shenron, Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Them are the things I really remember about GT. I feel like that might happen to Dragon Ball Daima, that in 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, the only thing that Dragon Ball Daima will be remembered for will be making Super Saiyan 4 canon. I don't think people are going to care about the first 10 episodes. Let me just actually more than that. I don't think people are going to care about the first 17 episodes of Dragon Ball Daima. It's just why I have a huge criticism of it. The first 17 episodes are just like, you don't have to watch the first 17 episodes of Dragon Ball Daima to enjoy it. That's just true. The last 4 episodes are really where the series shines. You can literally skip it. It doesn't, it's not like you're going to not enjoy it, but you don't need it. Where in something like Dragon Ball Z, you don't really want to skip, like you can rate any saga in Dragon Ball Z in any tier, and I don't think people would disagree. Like I don't think people say like the Saiyan saga is better than the Frieza saga. I would never disagree with that. So if that was someone's opinion, if someone said the Cell saga is the best, that's how I see it. But Dragon Ball Daima is 20 episodes. I don't know. I think GT is 60 or 64. It also didn't have time to actually, uh, uh, what's it called? Time to grow. I don't know if that was because of Akira Toriyama's passing that Dragon Ball Daima had to be shorter. I don't know. Maybe like RIP the GOAT. Obviously, Akira Toriyama obviously made another series that is good. Like I said, I give Dragon Ball Daima a 7 out of 10, but he did make another GOAT series. He did give us Super Saiyan 4, which the introduction of Super Saiyan 4 is. I've always said I think Super Saiyan 4 introduction in Dragon Ball Daima is top. I'm trying to think. It might be top. It might be top 3 in canon. In canon, it might be top 3 canon. If I had to like rank the introductions of forms, I think I might go Super Saiyan 1. I might go Ultra Instinct 2. And I might put Super Saiyan 4 Dragon Ball Daima there. Yeah, I think this is might be Dragon Ball. I think this might be top 3 introductions to a form. I'm really trying to think. Super Saiyan Blue. I don't even remember how Super Saiyan Blue was introduced. When did he go Super Saiyan Blue? I don't think Super Saiyan Blue even had an introduction. I think it was just like something like it was a new color other than red. Where something like Super Saiyan 1 was like obviously it was the first time a legendary Saiyan has ever turned Super Saiyan. And then you have Ultra Instinct, which was another time where Immortal has achieved Ultra Instinct. And Immortal was the first time to do Master Ultra Instinct, which no one has ever really fully mastered. But I do like Master Ultra Instinct better. So yeah, I think Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan, um, Ultra Instinct, I mean, and then Super Saiyan 4, Dragon Ball Daima, I think did the introduction to it perfect. I have no issues with the way they introduced the form. They did it justice. They made it very powerful. He was going against an enemy that had a limited power, so that's pretty cool. It's not like they introduced it and they got whooped. Dragon Ball Z has always did a good job of that. But yeah, it's amazing to see Dragon Ball Z doing actually good. Now we probably gotta wait another 5 years before we get another Dragon Ball Z, which is sad to see. I'm surprised we didn't get Dragon Ball Z Fusion. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't get a Fusion because they did introduce. Oh, I think I did call it. I think I did call in one of my episodes. I think I did call Dragon Ball Z Daima doing Super Saiyan Kid Goku Super Saiyan 3. I did call that, which was pretty obvious. Like it was gonna be a missed opportunity if you didn't introduce Super Saiyan 3 as Goku as a kid. But yes, Dragon Ball Z Daima overall is a 7 out of 10. I think the later episodes of Dragon Ball Daima, I'll actually give a 10 out of 10. I mean, I give a 9 out of 10. The later episodes, episode like 17 or 20, I give 10 out of 10s. The rest of Dragon Ball Z Daima, I get 7, 8 out of 10. And I'll stand on this. Dragon Ball GT is better than Dragon Ball Daima. I thought people was like, you're comparing it. Like I already knew it was going to be better, but yes, I do like Dragon Ball GT still better. But that's it. Peace. I'll see you next episode and goodbye.